is important because whatever your vision is, whatever you're looking for to create, you want to set that in stone. You feel me? You want to tighten up on that as much as possible. So when you take a auntie to a nephew or a father to a great granddaughter to tighten up that blood, you tighten up on your look, your signature look, when you trying to create your own bloodline. You get what I'm saying? Like, that is important. You feel me? But like I said, you got to get them dogs health checked. You got to get them health checked before you get to playing with that inbred and line breed and stuff like that, man. You got to know what you tightening up on, because whatever you tighten up on is the flaws and the positive and the negatives. You're going to double up on all of it. So you got to know. You got to know what you're working with.
I got a question, you know, like line breeding, right?
Mm-hmm.
I think it could be, you know, you got two different kind of breeders. I'm gonna say this, right? You got two different kind of breeders. You got breeders who line breed on other people's blood, and that's just what they do. Like say you get a dog from an established bloodline already, from a kennel. Mm-hmm. They got an established bloodline. You get a female, then you get another male from that same bloodline. Then you breed them, and then you go out and get another female of that same bloodline, and you build on that. And so you just line breeding somebody else's blood. Right. Then you got another breeder over here where he goes out, he grabs a particular dog from a bloodline, then he'll grab another dog from a different bloodline, which now that's an outcross. But then he goes out and grab another dog from another bloodline and bring that in until he's then, you know, gathered up different blood in his yard, and he start putting and matching and doing breedings and having litters, and then he starts to line breed on what he has to bring that consistent look in. So you got two different kind of breeders, in my opinion. You know what I'm saying? Right. Like, far as like when it comes to that, what's your thoughts far as like, you know, people that just line breed on somebody else's line, which that's cool to preserve. Maybe they want to preserve that line, preserve that look, versus, like I said, somebody over here, they actually create and they actually try to get their own look, and they.
I would say there's nothing wrong with neither one of them. You feel me? Right. If you want something you have to start somewhere. But if you're gonna go by the book and what's hot and what's, you feel me, most popular and whatever look you going for, then I would go with somebody else's bloodline. Breed that up, breed that out until your production starts showing out of that to create your own blood. Or you can go get a dog from over here that nobody ever heard of, or the bloodline that you never heard of, but it comes from somewhere though, some bloodline. Right. And then get the opposite dog and create your own look. That's cool too. You feel me? I done did them both. Right. I done did them both.
Yeah, but don't go popping out dogs though from that.
Oh yeah.
From that side where you're working and all of that. Don't be popping them dogs
until
out
you got that finished product.
Like shit, man.
For sure. Until you got that finished product.
Right. Versus, you know, people line breeding on other blood that's already been established. It's a look there, so you just line breed on that.
For sure.
But do you think, you know, even with line breeding, you can breed yourself into a corner?
That's a good question. I feel like, yeah, you can, because you could go too tight or too close and you try to hit it again with the same, you feel me, something too close instead of outcrossing it with a totally different bloodline, then bringing that production back and then hitting it again. You feel me? Yeah, you can definitely breed yourself in the corner and have all water puppies and puppies with underbites and blind puppies and cleft lips and kink tails and all type of stuff.
What you just said, man, I just now really got familiar with what you just said, the water pups, the hydro, I forget what the long-term
it
name
never happened
for
to me, God forbid.
I've been seeing that lately, you know, online and things like that. Like I'm unfamiliar with it, but I've been seeing it. Like, what is that? What does that come from? Is that coming from the French bulldog that's in these dogs? What is that?
I mean, I've never experienced it. I've always saw it on like Facebook, a post or something like that. But my guess is just people breeding too tight. You know, people breeding too tight, that causes that. That's my opinion on it. I don't know where it comes from. It looked crazy though. It looked crazy though, man. It make you be like, damn, do I really want to do this thing? You feel me? I don't want to be creating no monsters or nothing. But it's really it's messed up sight. It's gory for sure.
Yeah, I've been seeing it a lot lately online. Like
it's more so with the exotics though, I think though.
Yeah,
it's more so with the exotics though. I ain't really heard of nobody dropping no water puppies on no bulls.
Yeah. Not on the bigger dogs.
It's either the Frenchies or the exotics.
Yeah. That's why I was wondering, did it maybe come from the Frenchies? Because, you know, it's some French bulldog and them exotics for sure.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
That's why I was wondering, you know, maybe it's coming from there. But
it gotta be. It gotta be.
Seeing it, and I've been like, damn, I ain't never seen that before. It's crazy. For people, you know, who may be new to dog breeding, and for the viewers watching that may not even breed dogs, give us a few examples, you know, of some pairings of two dogs that would be considered like line breeding.
I'm gonna just make something up. You know, I ain't just gonna say. I'm gonna use my dogs.
Okay.
Say if Brody drop a production, I keep a female off of that production, right?
Right.
I would take that production to either Brody's like great grandfather or Brody's half brother or Brody's uncle on the dad's side or the mom's side because he's bred tight. Right. So either way I would go, it's gonna bring that look to the front of the pedigree and the look I want to go for.
Right.
That's an example of line breeding.
Okay. You just recently, you know, you just in the beginning of the interview we kind of touched on it, but I'm gonna speak on it again. You know, you got some people that inbreed dogs, and you got some people that's against inbreeding dogs. Would you ever do an inbreed?
I would, honestly. I probably would because I know what's behind my dogs and what flaws and what I'm looking for. So I will responsibly do it for sure. I wouldn't irresponsibly do it and just, I'm a line breed. I'm gonna take this. It's a badass such and such daughter. I'm gonna take the son. I'm gonna take her father back to her. You feel me? I'm not. I'm gonna do it responsibly. I'm gonna see what's wrong with the dog. Like I said, you're gonna double down on everything.
Right. You know, to even get to where we at with these dogs, you gotta do some inbreeding. And ain't no way around it.
You got to.
Whatever, you know, if you wanna lock all dogs that's considered purebred, quote unquote purebred dogs, you had to do some inbreeding to get to where you gotta get to.
So how you think they got all these fluffies and these pink fluffies and Frenchies and carrying this and carrying that? That's a lot of inbreeding.
Yeah, there ain't no way around it.
Ain't no way around it.
You just gotta see. I was saying this before too, you know, when we breed these dogs, you know, we might as well put white coats on and we somewhat scientists for real. So
mad scientists.
Right.
For sure.
It's kind of like trial and error, you know, you gotta get in there, you gotta breed, and when you breed, you kind of gotta take notes and know, all right, when I put this together with that blood, this happened and that happened, and this is something I like, this is something I didn't like. Same thing, you know, when you inbreed, you need to know, like, oh, I know I can't never inbreed on that blood. That shit go all the way bad. That shit, you know.
Went south,
right.
train wreck,
but
back to the drawing board. You feel me? Oh.
What's your thoughts though, for as like, you know, like I just said though, in the process of us being breeders and creating these dogs, all these dogs don't meet the cut when you kind of in the lab mixing up the pot. You got, you know, some people, they are able to find these dogs, pet homes and things like that, but then on the flip side of the coin, you got people that's in this thing and they unethical, and they not getting these dogs in pet homes and stuff like that. They dropping them off on the streets, they putting them in shelters, they doing all type of crazy stuff, you know. That's the flip side of, you know what I'm saying? The ugly side of what we do as breeders.
For sure.
So what's your thoughts on that though?
I feel like if you gonna breed responsibly. Like, if you call yourself a breeder and you want your name behind something, you gonna keep what you gonna keep off the litters. Everything ain't gotta be for sale or for profit. A lot of breeders breed and sell the whole litter. You feel me? And then some of the dogs be not worthy of the money that they done spent on this dog just because of the hype that's behind it. But at the end of the day, you proud to call that your production? You feel me? If I ain't keeping it, if I be like, oh yeah, that's a keeper right there, I'm gonna sell this though. You get what I'm saying? If I ain't calling it a keeper or pick 1, pick 2, pick 3, I'm pet homing the rest of the litter for dirt cheap. I don't care about the money. I care about my brand and what R&R look like. When people look at that dog, where that dog come from? R&R Kennels, Real Rare Bullies. I want people to say that.
Right.
You feel me?
Right.
It ain't always gotta be about the money, man. I will no paperwork. Here, I'm gonna donate this dog to you. Here you go. Give me $200. Give me something, man. Give me $100. Here. No papers though. No breeding rights. I fuck around and get it sprayed. Cause I don't want people saying, oh yeah, this dog came from here. Oh, they throwing that look? That's what they throwing? I don't think I want a dog from there. I want my shit to be consistent. I want people to be look at that dog and be like, oh yeah, I gotta go cop a dog from them. Yeah, that's my thoughts on that.
Yeah, and you know, like I'm saying though, like far as like you got dudes that jumping into this dog game and they breeding and they doing inbreedings, and like I said, like, you know, you might do a breeding or inbreeding and create something that's got crazy flaws to the point where the dog can't walk or this, that, and the third, and like I said, they dropping these dogs off and they going
That's
to these,
messed up.
you filling up these shelters with dogs that's handicapped and deformities from the breedings that they done did and things like that. And that right there, man, that kind of give us a bad name and a bad look for the bully breed, you know. I think people need to better educate themselves on breeding before they start to get into the realm of inbreeding or just breeding, period. Educate yourself or get up under somebody that can mentor you and help you be a better breeder. I feel like, man, maybe I could be wrong, but I don't really see like no mentorship too much going on far as with guys now. Everybody, you know, get a hold of a little piece of change and go buy a dog and nigga, I'm a breeder.
You're not a breeder. You're not. Like, and you right though, it ain't really no mentors, no, like, I mean, it's mainly a male, you feel me, game. Men, like, you feel me, ain't really no female. It's female breeders out there, but like, you know, man, I ain't looking up to nobody. I ain't asking nobody to mentor me. But like, when I first started, like I mentioned G Nation Bullies in the beginning, anytime I called that man phone and ask him a question about a dog, I wouldn't even be purchasing a dog off his yard. He'd give me the whole rundown on the dog, man. On where it come from, generate it. Like, that's really like that. I would say that's who mentored me. Anytime, that man ain't never steered me wrong, man.
Right.
And a lot of breeders like that. I mean, a lot of breeders didn't have that. You feel me? I'm blessed to have that.